Hello, hello. Yeah, fuck-ups are everywhere. So many fuck-ups at Burning Man this year happen, but it's another story. So couple words about me. I moved from Minsk to San Francisco around 8 years ago. And I worked at agency, as Klim said, and I'm so glad to see so many people here who came to support me from one of two biggest, I work in many companies, but two biggest babies I have. It's agencies. It was the biggest agency in digital in Minsk, and at some point we grew a lot. And also the second company I'm working right now is Chief of Marketing at Mira. I will tell more about it, but when I joined, we were just two co-founders and me doing everything. And now we have around 150 people and the marketing team is around 50 people. So it's like a lot of growth last 5 years. And if we're talking about my mission, I think it's scaling people. It's building creative teams and making sure I'm also responsible for revenue, that revenue coming and we can have all these amazing creative people. So today I'll be talking a lot about very expensive mistakes for startups I worked for and some of things that you can do to prevent them if you are working in a company or building a company that targets consumer in US. So most of the examples will come from this startup I'm working right now, which is Mira. It's a hormonal health company. We build hardware that measures fertility hormones at home through urine. We launched like 5-6 years ago, and since then become one of the biggest fertility monitors in the US. We have thousands of babies were born with our product. We have all amazing awards. Like last year, we got nominated by Fast Company to become the most innovative company of the year. So it's pretty exciting because when I joined, we had this like office like this. I came and I took this job because I came from Burning Man, and I was like, I will take the first job because I need to extend my visa. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I wanted to do something that is helpful for people, but like I need to commute to this company 3 hours per day. It took me. There is no other people. I'm just doing everything. I kind of super burnout, but looking like what we have right now, it was a lot of amazing growth opportunities, but also a lot of mistakes. Next week, we're launching campaign on Times Square. It will be one of the first campaign actually like featuring all this like women tech, women health, fertility and hormones on the big screens, which I'm super excited because also when I joined, like talking about period and menopause and all of it still was very stigmatized. And I can relate to one of speakers talking how someone like walked from you at the event when I was going to like TechCrunch, Disrupt, and all this like big conference. You know, you're like coming to the circle of guys, and everyone is like, "Oh, I'm doing AI, I'm doing this," and I'm like, "I'm doing fertility," and people just like go away. So now it's hot. So it's glad to know that we're participating in making it hot. So, starting from one of fuck-ups that actually killed a lot of companies and a lot of businesses in subscription, not just like e-commerce and D2C. In 2020, like we grew as crazy, 300% every year, and suddenly like iOS 14 update happened. And we're kind of very, very optimistic about it. Like, oh, okay, Meta updating some policies, we will be fine. Because before that, you take like $100, you put it into Meta, you like get $300. Nice. So it was like very easy, not easy, but kind of very straightforward how to do marketing. And similar to Denise, those time I hired a guy for growth manager because on an interview he told me he has a snake and a lizard and 5 kids, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. Yeah, hi. So this guy kind of like when we had this situation cried on calls and eventually disappeared. We had like horrible year, like. It was down so much and we didn't know what to do because we didn't prepare for it in advance. We didn't diversify channels. We were too optimistic that, this like lottery will exist forever. So recently, another update happened in the beginning of this year. It was super scary because Meta, after all this like issues that they experienced with different companies about privacy leaks, they're like, oh, we don't allow anymore to optimize for conversion for health and wellness brands. So what does it mean? That you can just do brand awareness, which is BS. And like we suddenly realized that since a lot of percentage of our revenue still comes from Meta, we are fucked. So in this situation, luckily, learned a lot of mistakes about hiring. We working with one of the best agency, but this agency also didn't know what to do. So we just call to all like top agencies that we didn't work with, but we kind of pretended that we're interested working with them, and we asked what you're gonna do in this situation, and we got the way around. So we use a like customer data platform that like hides this conversion event, blah blah blah. So we almost didn't feel any impact on our revenue, which was great because honestly, I was ready to like sign off and disappear, go into the forest, dance near the fire, because it will be like basically the end of the revenue that we established. And also diversify, because in this time we decided to invest more into influencers, and it's a very difficult decision because sometimes you don't see direct attribution, like, okay, why should, like recently my team came to me and they're like, we want to do jingle with this woman. She will sing about us, but she will not mention our brand name, and it cost $25,000. And I was like, fuck no. And after that, I saw, like a lot, like people commented why we should do it, and it would be so fun, la la, and it's on TikTok, and I'm already feeling like grandma because I'm not following this trend. And I was like, okay, if so many people kind of believe we need to do it, let's do it. And it's become like one of the most viral campaigns that we had. That is, of course, difficult to measure directly, but it really helped to build brand awareness and see lift in conversion. Yep. So the second one that I want to share, kind of more personal, about thinking that, in startup, you work hard to get bring the best people to work with you, because if you're Google, you have a lot to offer. But if you're a startup, it's like, who are you? What are you doing? You need to motivate people. And so when I get someone who was great and had a lot of awards and was best in class, was so excited that I didn't check how it would work to work with this person. Because in the agency, I used to work with clients and with very tough people. I think that one of my strengths working with creative people that, all kind of weirdos, but I was like, I can handle it. But when other people need to work with this person, the more difficulties come in. So this person, head of department, call him A or her. They will be politically corrected. Shipped amazing, amazing quality, amazing deliverables, but just not everyone complained about this person. And I struggle so much myself because I need to hire executive coach to figure out how to work with this person. I need to talk to therapist. I need to resolve all this drama and complain. And I feel so much energy were just wasted on making this person who is amazing to how to work with this person. So eventually I decided that I can't do it anymore, and we replaced two kind of more mediocre, less experienced, no awards, much younger, much less experienced, but very promising in terms of attitude and more a growth mindset. And it was very scary because, there are some roles where hard skills are very important, and it's not a manager. You really need to know that this person can do the job. So the second head of department that we have right now, grew the team, become more collaborative, work independently. I don't need to deal with all of it. I don't need to resolve drama, improve processes. So I think for me, the lesson is just not be afraid that there are some people that are not irreplaceable, unfortunately, and really think about how this attitude can affect everyone else, because it's contagious. And sometimes maybe it's okay to get more mediocre results, but maintain culture and let people know that you listen to them. Okay. So the third one, very expensive. When I joined 5 years ago and I was just one person doing everything, I was like, oh, we need to add some policies on our website. I will just go and Google policies, privacy policies, website policies, and found pretty good. I compared several options. It wasn't the first click from Google. I put them on a website, and I kind of had this internal feeling inside me, sometimes at night when I did it and it still works. It's kind of suspicious. So at some point when you are pretty small company and no one kind of cares about you, you don't have money, and legislation or organizations also know that you don't have money, other people don't know that you have money, it's fine, it works. I mean, I don't recommend for startups that just launched to invest a lot of money into legal consultations, but at some point, when you grow and you're excited, oh, we're growing, you're all these vultures start to come in. And at some point, a lot of organizations and companies start to see us as a way to make money for them. And we start to receive complaints about customer who sound blind customer 5 years ago went on your website, and those time it didn't have this accessibility feature. And there's some lawsuits about privacy you share with Meta. Everyone shared with Meta. We didn't do anything that is not compliant, but making maybe from beginning investing a bit more into making sure that you waive all these class actions and liabilities, and you just saving so much money in future is really important. Making sure that patents are strong. We had examples of other companies patenting our patent and coming and asking us to lease patents from them. So also interesting business idea. Outlining all data sharing policies. I think for now, internationally, if you work internationally, it's even more important, because how it works in California, how it works in European Union and the rest of US is completely different. So I think it's kind of not sexy stuff to talk about, but really important and can save a lot of money in future if you don't just copy paste it. Copy paste smart. And the last one, bonus that I have I'm working also at consulting companies and doing growth mentorship. And one of the most popular FuckUps that I have together with founding team is that we come with some idea or assumptions that we know for whom is this product and who are these people. For example, I helped to build a brand for this amazing product. She's also founder in San Francisco. It's a posture bra that helps you make your posture better, and it looks sexy. And we assume that our audience, she did a lot of interviews. It didn't come from just pure kind of idea that it's a millennial yoga woman, wear our yoga pants and our brands. They want to look nice, and they're going to soul cycle classes. And we start to run ads. We put this beautiful website. We obviously photo shoot all our targeted persona and visuals. And the people who start to actually react to our advertising and click on it were menopausal women, because when you're going through menopause, you have some bone structure changes. So it's you're slouching more, so it's like really helpful. And the first actually audience, and the product also cost $200. So also they had this money actually to buy this product. So after this finding, we pivoted and kind of adjusted language on the website, colors of branding, images, so we can match this audience as well. So it doesn't look like a product for teenagers. And it's very interesting because sometimes company come into me and they're like, oh, we know our persona, we have like 5 pages, like PDF describing it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just put ads. And luckily now the algorithm of Meta allows it. You just put ads, you just like throw spaghetti and you see where the spaghetti sticks. Are they sticks? Like what angle perform? With one of companies that I'm working with right now, we're also like doing this experiment. It actually shows like very different results in terms of like what is the gender of the audience, where do they live, what do they care about. So I think like staying that open-minded when you work with like consumer product and doing a lot of experiments can really help, because a lot of startups like, oh, it doesn't work, we're gonna pivot. But I think before pivoting the product, you really can pivot the audience. And there is another company example that was doing hydration drinks, beverages that look like, for sport, like, all around marathon recently. I saw in your hand, like very sporty looking. And they found out that actually the audience that buys this product are mom that are breastfeeding, because when you're breastfeeding, you also need a lot of hydration. So they completely changed the packaging, the product, and it helped them to grow. So I think like these examples like this really tells me and teaches me to stay open-minded and always learn and ask about your audience. Okay, thank you. Find me on LinkedIn, and I will not reply.
Write anything you want.
No, I'm joking. I'm replying. We're also hiring, so.
She's replying. We have time for 3-4 questions, and we have tickets to Valencia, and amazing insight from Katherine.
Hi. My question would be not about your FuckUP, but like more about your product, if I may ask you. Do you see any issues how USA right now is building policies around women's health? Do you see any issues for your product, or do you see any issue for the marketing strategy for your product in terms of the USA? Do you consider this as a obstacle for your future of your product or not?
No. Obviously, it's heartbreaking to see what's going on politically in many countries, not just US, abortion rights, IVF rights, and so on. But I don't think that it will affect, because we work with consumer, and it's actually like consumer money and who spend and who invest. And I think that there are a lot of movements that happening in women's health, and companies like filing different petitions to government, like making sure that enough money allocated to research. So of course it's not easy, and I wish the situation would be different, but I'm looking optimistic because people are the ones who are making decisions with their money.
Yeah, I was asking, thank you very much. I was asking more about, should be open any question more from my side. So asking more about the data privacy for the women's health. I recently heard about Aura, that they had a huge issue with selling the data stuff to the government because they were obliged to. So I was thinking maybe you also face such an issues. Maybe someone approached your product, or maybe you decided to change your marketing strategy based on that.
No, for now we have very strict policies around how we use customer data. There is no customer data shared with any platforms like Meta or Google, and we didn't have any request from government. We received this question after all this abortion situation happened, will you share information? But again, for now, it's okay when we're not required legally to share anything, and we are doing a lot of everything to prevent information from and keep it only in our servers.
Thank you. I turned it off.
You should play.
Hi, Catherine. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation, especially in terms of marketing. Finally, something I can relate to. I was listening to this TED talk once about a person who decided to open these terms and conditions and privacy policies of one app once, and he actually downloaded it and decided to print it out, and it turns out to be 600 pages or something like that. So, since fuck-ups and mistakes is something that we learn from, you had this experience of terms and conditions, copying it from Google. Now, as a customer, when buying a ticket or downloading an app, do you ever read those terms and conditions? I'm just wondering.
No, I don't read. What I copy was probably 2 pages, and what we have right now is 600 pages. We have situation for everything, but we also have a kind of quintessence when you onboard customer in the app. You tell them what's gonna happen, because there is a high trend on personalization. Everyone wanted to receive information that they need. I go to a website, we have this complaints, and people I want to avoid pregnancy. Why you're sending me about pregnancy? Or someone opposite. But in the same situation, it's kind of spooky if I didn't confirm anything and I suddenly start to receive information about very sensitive topic that someone is kind of knowing what I need. So I think it's a balance to keep and making it very transparent what we collect and how we are using it for the favor of a customer. And if they agree, if they don't agree, of course they have this all rights to forget.
Hi, Kate. I'm Maria. And first of all, I'm so happy to finally meet you in person, just because I've been a fan of you, if I may call this. So my question actually is, currently I have 7 years in marketing, and I've grown to marketing manager within different domains. And you are currently a chief marketing officer in a very successful, in my opinion, product. So what would be your piece of advice or the best lesson that you may tell in terms of how to grow from manager, from just a specialist to head of marketing or chief marketing officer?
Yeah, I would say go to smaller startup that somehow maybe doesn't look good, but there is a feeling that that you believe in idea. Because honestly, I was director of agency, I don't remember last time I wrote a copy or opened Meta account. And when I joined this company, it was such a downgrade. I was customer support. I was writing every post, designing every post on Canva after being director of an agency with 35 people, designing website on WordPress. If I can copy this policies because I didn't have time. And sometimes I were coming home and thinking why I'm doing this. But in the same time, it was very exciting to learn everything from scratch. So I think just finding a team that need someone I position myself full stack person, because I don't think about marketing. I'm thinking about more the growth and kind of everything. So if I need to go and I don't know, talk to people on the street, if I need to do sales, if I need to become accountant, I would do it because I'm curious how it works. So I think it's open-mindedness and just finding the right place to go. I mean, I'm from startup world. Maybe if you want to build career in the corporate world, it's a bit different. Maybe there is another suggestion, but in startups, I think it was kind of pivotal for me not to have this pride to only work in the companies that established and take the risk.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Kate. I have a bit of a similar question. I'm wondering what, in your view, are the trends in marketing for next year? Say you have a tech B2C product with a pretty small budget. What would you recommend?
Ooh, good one. I don't know, community, I think Discord, building group of ambassadors, building product-led, community-led, and just, talking to people, getting some like brand ambassadors and like promoting through them. If someone is passionate about it, if they feel that they can participate in what is building. We also kind of started this way. We started from going to Facebook groups where people like experience struggles to conceive and like just, we have this product, do you want to test it? And now our community is around 18,000 people on Facebook. So I think kind of the same approach you can apply. It's maybe not like fancy AI thing, but I feel AI is also, it's not a trend. It's like before we were like using horses to commute, after we use cars. So AI is just like another vehicle of doing whatever you need to do. It's not the trend itself.
Right.
Yeah, hi Kate. Thanks for sharing this. Initially, I was about to ask about the terms of services and that FuckUP slide, but then I got an idea that today when I get back home, my wife is probably going to ask me, okay, was it an interesting event? So what was that cool about that? I would probably say, yes, it was interesting. And she will be like, okay, share please some stories from that. And I will be like, usually men are not that much aware about FemTech. And probably half of the people even don't know what is fertility and how hormones work. So I just want you to share probably one fun fact, one insight that you get while you've been driving this startup that would be interesting to share with my wife. Yeah, and in general with women. Probably something that untypical and I don't know, not that obvious, that would probably be something new for women and probably for men as well. Yeah, thank you. If you know something like that.
Good question. I'm learning every day. Honestly, when I joined this company, I didn't have all this knowledge about myself. I was like, I had a kind of anxiety attack sometimes coming from work because I was reading about all this like infertility things and conditions that I didn't have idea about. And I was coming home, I was calling my friend Dasha, and I was like, Dasha, did you know that when you take birth control, you don't have period? It's fake. And I was like 35 or something, I don't know, after 30 years old, just found out about it. And we work with a lot of practitioners that use our product. And I think they also supply us with very interesting insights, like for example, how hormones and metabolic data connected. And one of the last studies that my colleague who is in this room also spearheading, I didn't know that, how your cycle actually affects how your glucose level and how glucose spikes. And for people, for example, that have diabetes or maybe PCOS, it's very important to look into this data holistically because our body, it's like the organism where is everything connected. There is also connection between hormones, for example, and ADHD. And some of our practitioners actually looking into hormones to find a right path to treat it, or not treat, but kind of get it under control. So I think that this is something that we really wanted to dive more with our research strategy next year. We're doing partnership with Oura, we're doing partnership with glucose monitors, kind of how everything is connected to our gut microbiome, our vitamins, to find out how we can live longer and healthier.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Katherine.